And so already there's no separation, no division. Just this. Just this appearing as everything, every feeling, every emotion. And so, because everything is already this, there's no you, just this. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just this. Even a feeling of separation, no matter how real it may feel, it's just this, appearing as a feeling of separation. I got it. I know what he's talking about. That's this. So frustrated. The hell is he talking about? This. So that's why it's sometimes said there's no escape, because there's only this. So even feeling like you want to escape or are trying to escape, just be this. Trying to get somewhere, trying to become enlightened. Just this. Hearing as a sense of limitation. It's like the unlimited can appear limited, small. So a grain of sand, or a planet, a universe, the same. So this is an open meeting. Everyone's invited to participate. If you have a comment or question, feel free to unmute and jump in. Yeah, it's funny, Alice. I was thinking about you. I was thinking about you and Nkosi in your sessions, and your report is how amazing they are. And I was thinking about why, what's the deal? What's going on there? And I realized that, right? So we come to him with a story, some kind of story, and he's so loving and so accepting that he doesn't see it as a problem. But of course I do, right? Because that's why I'm there. I've got this problem. But He says, there's no problem. There's already no problem. And it's like he's so, right? It's so palpable that you all of a sudden you begin to doubt your own problem. Like, oh, gee, maybe the guy, maybe this really isn't such a.
Always, yes. I did. I hadn't been doing regular sessions with him like I used to for a while now, and I I I wrote to him this past week and said that I would like to resume them again, but I feel every time I come to you, I have to have a problem. I feel like I have to have a problem to discuss something with him. And that when you opened the meeting last week, you said, just come as you are, just be as you are. And there was just something that said, well, I don't know how to do that. And so I told him about that. And I said, I would like to have a couple sessions with you a month and come as I am and see how that feels. And maybe you can help me be that way. I don't want to feel like I have to see him and get something all the time. I want to feel more natural. And I guess that's kind of coming to him with a problem, but he said, sure, we could do that. Of course, he would say that. And
Well, because he doesn't see as someone with a problem. He literally doesn't see it. He's not just, BSing. He doesn't, it doesn't compute because all is this. So he sees this there as the character Alice explaining to him to this why there's a problem. So he plays along. He's so loving.
well, then I'm so tired of playing along with myself. Thinking
Well,
that's a problem all the time.
There's not a point, but if there were, the point would be you get tired of your own.
Yeah. It's helpful to say that. Thank you.
I enjoyed listening to Kosi with who's the other
Charles.
with Charles. Yeah, sorry, I've had a blank there. Yeah, I enjoyed those two talking together. Charles doesn't seem to come with a problem. He just comes for chat, and I find myself laughing often at the interaction between the two.
Yeah, that's good, Faith. Yeah, actually, I just was talking to Nkosi a couple hours ago, and Faith's completely right, Alice. You can just hang with him and see what comes up.
That's what I was thinking I'd like to do. Yeah.
Is Charles the chef?
No, Charles is some kind of like architect.
Oh, okay.
It's like a little
All right.
company.
Oh, okay.
My comment today, this week, would be something about I enjoy Nkosi talking about about that we are genderless. We're not a man nor a woman. And I think that must be very healing for the homosexual community, for the LGBTQI plus community, because history of society has pushed them into a box that they should be. Nkosi got no box for anybody.
Yeah, all this doesn't have a box, but a box can be imagined by this.
Would be healing for the me community.
Yeah, Dan, thanks. That makes me laugh.
That's what me is. The me is the one in the box,
Yeah.
and there's no box.
Yeah, well, I suppose likewise for racial discrimination that goes on within society. Yeah, it's like there's no race, there's no, yeah, we're genderless, but we're sort of raceless too, aren't we? And like you say, the healing is in the letting it is getting away from the me identity. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're not just raceless or genderless, you're nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, what a relief.
I would even like to get away from wanting self-approval. You know, just real simple things like, well, they're all identified as me, so there's no hierarchy even of better or worse.
Yeah. But part of the self-approval depends on the assumption that there's someone there that can be approved of.
Yeah. And that would probably be the case with all of these things we're talking about, that we believe there's self in every instance. I know that we've talked about so many things about the self, and yet my response to that would have been, well, then how do I get rid of it? I mean, but we've been talking about it for years now. Of course, there's I'm going to get myself caught into a spiral here, so I don't want to go any further, but there's so many things Nkosi has said that have been so helpful that I keep forgetting all the time. Or that, of course, there is no me, so even to say I keep forgetting is not a correct statement, but that can really identify.
Yeah. Well, we can look now, Alice, right? Now's as good as time as any, since you're here. We could look and see, is there a me anywhere right now, not in the future, not in the past? Just look around. I can see a computer monitor, all your lovely faces, my tea table, fan. I mean, if somebody finds a me, do tell.
I guess I was thinking that if I identify with any of those things you said, there would be the me. But if I just see clearly the TV, the pictures.
Yeah, good, Alice. Yeah, there's already no me there. There's just this. That's just this is the beginning and the end. And then, already.
Could you say there's just me? as you look around, me. No separation,
Yeah.
me.
Well, Don, by God, you must know by now that the word doesn't matter.
Okay. Okay.
Like there literally is no right word. There's no wrong word. There's just, one of the things Nkosi and I were talking about at the beginning of our conversation was chirp, chirp, chirp of the birds. The birds chirp are meaningless to us, but apparently there's some meaning to the birds because they love to do it. And same with us, with our language. And we love to, well, I would say tweet, but I don't know if Twitter's still around. But so this loves to tweet, and it tweets in all varieties and shapes and colors, but it's never anyone doing it. Someone would have to be separate to be a doer, like to have its own power. So even the sense of a me, its power is this appearing as a sense of a me. So this doesn't know anything. All knowing is for me. Because for knowing, you need two, a subject and an object. There's no getting around that. Yeah, normally the thoughts are thought of as the bad guy often in spirituality, but suddenly when it hits that, oh, well, thoughts are this too. So this doesn't depend on thoughts. A thought can appear, thought cannot appear. It doesn't matter to this. It doesn't change this, doesn't affect it, doesn't even know about it. So all is this is seen as a celebration here. It's so inclusive, beyond the word inclusive. It just doesn't exclude anything, the good, the bad, the ugly, all of it. And there can just be a resonance for no reason with that.
Who's that resonance between? The resonance seems to would involve two. As I'm trying to figure out what is this resonance about two?
Yeah, I don't know. I can just say how it was felt here. When Nkosi showed up and said whether there was a me here or not, this didn't care. There was something here that just heard that as freedom. Because so much of the spiritual community's focus was on the me and whether or not it was still there. And Nkosi was saying, well, it's all this, so it literally doesn't matter. This just doesn't care because there's nothing outside it that would.
Yeah, when you were talking about thoughts and thought, I watched Tim Cleese, a recent recording of Tim Cleese on YouTube, and his introduction to the clip was about a thought upon a thought upon a thought. And it was really, I found it very powerful in seeing through the thoughts. And then I'm looking at Joe's picture of the turtles and I'm thinking, it's like it's thoughts all the way down.
Yes.
Or thoughts all the way up, whichever you want.
Yeah. It's a thought that's seeking enlightenment. It's a thought that's my thought is a thought. So yeah,
Well,
it's
yeah,
all,
you have a
go ahead.
sorry, you have a thought about a thought.
Well, you don't, but this is the rub. You don't.
True, but if you're in that me cocoon, the thought, that's what's happening.
So that's the hamster wheel, is that a thought goes to a thought, goes to a thought.
Yeah.
Well, you said it yourself last week, Faith, when you talked about your family, looking into the tree and the history.
Yeah.
And you answer one question and 15 more pop up.
Yeah.
So that's how the mind seems to be. Whatever question you're interested in, you can keep digging. It will somehow provide more information, but it doesn't ever lead anywhere.
Yeah, and so, but somehow the thoughts just seem to come, and as Leighton would say, they don't belong to you, but there they are.
Well, let's take a look, right? Let's look. Because you say there they are. And again, that's another, right, Faith? It's just they feel so real.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Can we find something here right now called a thought?
Well, then you say it's just what's happening. No.
Well, there is.
No, I can't find it. I can't touch it. I can't give it to you or something, but it's just happening. It's just what's happening.
It seems, yeah. So we could say it seems to be there, but when looked for,
Mm. And I suppose what I find freeing or liberating is that the thoughts can be there and that doesn't alter anything. Because I was in the mode of you've got to reject that and you don't want to have that. And the more you push that away, the worse it becomes.
well, so for my whole, let's say, seeking Faith as a seeker, there was wanting to find myself or know what I was or look for something. But that was already starting off as a something.
Mm. Mm.
And it turns out there's just nothing there. Now, for most, that's not really something to be talked about in mixed company. But here at our clandestine secret meetings, the Society of Nobodies, there is great joy and relief. Thank God.
We're the
But-
no me community.
Well, there can't be joy and relief. I mean, even that was like, well, I don't have joy and relief. Now I come to this group or do this practice, and now now there's joy and relief. Now there is joy and relief. But the joy and relief is for no one. So therefore, the joy and relief wouldn't be any different than the despair and hopelessness.
Right, both of those.
So but I heard you say, or this interpretation of here is that we come together and there is this apparent joy and relief. And I agree with that. I come here for that.
It's just
But
it's just a
that's-
story. It's just a story.
Okay, so that's just a story. So what this right here, this great group and this whatever we're doing is just a story. It's not better than being depressed and despondent over in the corner.
Well,
Apparently.
you tell me, Don, if it's all this, can one thing be better than another?
No.
It certainly can feel different. We're not, right? We're not debating any merits of the experience.
Right.
We're just taking sort of a flashlight and looking for the claimer, the one who says, well, this is my situation. This is where I'm at. Well, So again, there's that knowing, right? Knowing where I'm at. That's all the me's interested in every second, is knowing where it's at. So that's what I'm saying, Don. To me, that was experienced here as torture. So when it was seen through that there really wasn't anybody here suffering. That's good news. And there isn't anyone there. Even if it feels like it, it could be imagined, this can imagine, but something about coming to these kinds of meetings, the me doesn't get fed. Nothing's on offer. So sometimes the me could get very frustrated here.
So, okay, so the me being frustrated is this. And the me being frustrated also wants to not be frustrated. And that's also this. And so then I get caught. Then I get caught. It's like, well, then what do I do?
Exactly.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Am I going to get an answer? Is just exactly.
There is no doer.
Right. Thank you, Leighton. The doers imagine.
Don,
Yeah.
what always happens, I totally follow the, the rationale, and it makes sense. And it always strikes me like, the intent is to understand it and to logically line it up. And in the end, it doesn't line up because maybe it's paradoxical, or it just, it's the mind. It's hard. It seems like it's hard for me to accept that it's not logical. But the me always wants to understand it. And it seems like this particular topic doesn't really, is not really working very well with logic.
Well, the me here, more than understanding, the me here wants freedom. And when I'm in these meetings and after the meetings, there is an experience over here of more freedom. But then again, that's all this. So why not come to the meeting and smoke a joint or something and do that? And so I'm so confused. What am I doing here? I came here. I know this is just all whatever. Faith is saying no.
Get them, Faith.
But it's not just random that I'm here. I don't get that. There's something here. They'll call it the resonance. There's a resident here, and but I didn't come here to hook into the resonance. It just happened.
So you're trying to figure out what the reason is that you're here. Or what you said it couldn't just be random. How do you know whether it's random or not random?
I can't know that.
It's just a lot of hypotheses, and it's trying to get a story together that makes you somewhat, you know, that you were content with for a while.
So you're just saying it's just happening.
Oh, and I don't know. Like I get your questions, but I don't have the answer.
Oh, who's got the answer? Who's got the answer?
No. Other than saying what I said, that it sounds like I heard this. Not that I know this, but I heard that the mind can't figure it out, and yet I find it somewhat amusing that the mind continues to work at it. Like it's almost like there is a hypothesis that there should be an answer.
Well, yeah, Peter, because that's hope. What's in me without hope?
And also, like, how could I be happy or free if I'm not clear on it? Or, if I don't have the answer, I can't rest before I have the answer.
Right.
I have to keep seeking.
Right.
I don't want an answer. I just want to be free. I don't need to know why. I really don't. I mean, that's interesting to me too. I'm not saying that, but I just want to be free.
Don, I think a good way to look at it is the mind thoughts are clouds, and they're blocking the freedom that already is. And then you come here and we decloud all your thoughts, and then you feel more free because you already are. Taking those clouds, from the blocking your beingness.
Well, if I could just say, there's actually nothing blocking anything. The thoughts don't actually block. This is always here, whether it's sunny or rain, right? The sky never moves. So Don, if you're feeling frustrated, just hang on, because usually in a few minutes you'll be preaching in the Nkosi line, but it's just this seeking itself.
That's always a good metaphor, though, that Leighton shared with us. Even though there are no clouds, I enjoyed the metaphor.
And I was going to tell Don, just, like when Michael said this, your body language reflected, you were contemplating it, like, you didn't like immediately like find the counter argument. It was like, maybe, it's like, who knows, maybe.
Well, yeah, I was actually feeling something, that, and it's sort of like it's like I get that feeling, like it's all just happening. There's a certain amount of that going on right now, but it's like, then the fear comes up. Well, but it's not going to last very long, and then I'll be thrown back into the other. So the fear is just also this, right? you know, once again, I love this stuff and I hate this stuff, man. There's just, I can't get out of it, man. Okay.
Hi,
Nkosi,
Nkosi. Welcome, Nkosi.
And Nkosi,
you're muted, Nkosi.
Hi, hello everyone.
hi.
Yeah, tonight, Nkosi, we're talking about there's nothing else but itself.
Yeah, yeah. This just this switches everything, including that switch to be talking. Oh, that's which is talking right now. Sorry. It's just this everything appearing as that. The whole meeting as it is just an expression of wholeness. It's got nothing to do with the separate self, because there is no real separate self. So everything is just the way it is. It's not happening to somebody or somebody. It's just what's happening, and it's going nowhere. Even when it seems it's going somewhere, no. But there's no one behind that. It's just what's happening. It's just an appearance in this, just a story. So everything as it is empty. Every thinking, every conversation, every discussion, every opinion is already the emptiness appearing as that. Even if something arises and claims that, oh, I came up with that opinion, it's my opinion. It was just my opinion. It's just, it's already what is a wholeness appearing as that. There isn't anybody's opinion here already. If something says, oh, I can't get it, now I'm getting it. I'm not hearing you. It's just an expression of everything. It's got nothing to do with imaginary separate self. So there's no real separate self except as a thought. So when thoughts are looked for, they can never be found. And even the one that seems to be looking, no, it's not there. So there's nothing, there's emptiness. I would say it's empty and full. It's not just empty, as in blank space. No, it's not just blank. It's aliveness. It's beautiful. And it's going nowhere because there's no distance to it. There's no point A to point B because it's the only thing that is. There's nothing outside of it. Nobody outside of it to know about it, to talk on behalf of it, or to get it. It's just it. And there's no outside and there's no inside. There's just everything. Totality, wholeness. Well, as well, this as it is is already worthless. No word can really describe what this is. This is beyond any description. This is beyond any word. Though it may appear as words at times, but it doesn't require any words to be spoken for it to be what it is. It's just the way it is even before any word can be spoken. It's already effortless and obvious to itself. The imaginary separate self cannot get it, cannot know it, cannot become it. Because it doesn't exist. No. Or I may say it's just already it's appearing as an imagination. At times it may happen to dream itself as a separate self who's on the journey to find itself. And then it recognizes that it has never been a separate self. It has always been itself. So there's really nowhere to go. Everything is it already. Everything is this. Every opinion, every suggestion, every, everything, the roof, the sky, raccoon. Curiosity, expectation. That's expectation right now that may seem to arise. It has no one behind it. Even when it seems there's someone who's waiting for something to be spoken, there's no one behind it. It's just also an expression of this. This that is talking right now and listening right now and wondering right now and smiling right now. So this is okay. This is beautiful because it's nothing. It's nothing. And there's no one here to know this. If all there is this, who can know this? Who can become this? Who can be outside of this? So it's just this. And this is everything. And there is no escape. In a sense that everything that seems to be happening or that's happening is just this appearing as that. Question, answer, suggestion, opinion, story, problem, no problem, frustration, earthquake, bad weather, lots of questions. So everything is okay. Everything is. Yeah, that's what's coming up.
Any last comments or questions before we close out this evening? Well, I got something to say. I want to thank Dr. Robin Starbuck for leaving us that lovely 5-star review on Kindle. And if you haven't gone over to the Kindle store, I understand there's a book called Just This. It's now a 5-star, so check it out. Thanks to each and every one of you for coming. We so love and appreciate all of you in Nkosi. No words. Good night, everybody.
Bye all.
Good night.
Good night.